The world's most critical maritime choke point is once again at the center of a high-stakes geopolitical gamble, as President Donald Trump, speaking from the pressurized cabin of Air Force One, just signaled a massive shift in how the West and its allies will secure the flow of global energy. While flying back to Washington from Florida, the president confirmed he has officially demanded that roughly 7 nations, countries he describes as being heavily reliant on Middle East oil, step up and form a multinational military coalition to police the Strait of Hormuz. This isn't just about security, it's a bold financial and military ultimatum directed at nations like Japan, South Korea, China, and several European allies who have long benefited from American naval protection without footing the bill. The Strait of Hormuz is a narrow, treacherous waterway where nearly a third of all seaborne traded oil passes daily, and recent Iranian aggression, including the seizure of tankers and the downing of high-tech surveillance drones, has turned these waters into a powder keg. Trump's rhetoric is clear. The era of the United States acting as the world's sole maritime policeman, providing free security for the energy supplies of wealthy nations, is effectively over. By calling for this coalition, the administration is forcing a choice upon the international community. Either contribute your own naval assets and funding to protect your own economic interests, or risk the total destabilization of the global energy market. Tehran has already responded with its usual brand of defiance, warning that any foreign military buildup in their backyard will be viewed as an act of war, but the White House seems undeterred, betting that the collective pressure of 7 major economies will be enough to box in the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps. This move is a classic Trumpian maneuver, blending hard-nosed America-first economics with aggressive military posturing to redraw the map of Middle Eastern influence. As we watch this coalition take shape, the questions are mounting. Which 7 nations will cave to the demand? Will China actually sail its warships alongside the U.S. Navy to protect its oil interests? Or will this demand alienate America's closest allies even further? The stakes couldn't be higher, because if one mistake is made in the narrow corridor of the strait, we aren't just looking at a dip in the stock market, we are looking at a full-scale regional conflict that could shut down the world's oil supply indefinitely. Analysts are already pointing out that the logistics of a 7-nation fleet are a nightmare, requiring synchronized communication and rules of engagement that could take months to finalize. Yet Trump is moving at a breakneck pace, sensing that the leverage is currently on his side. This isn't just about policing a waterway, it's about a fundamental restructuring of global responsibility, where the president is telling the world that American blood and treasure will no longer be spent protecting the resources of those who refuse to contribute to the cause. As the USS Abraham Lincoln Carrier Strike Group continues to patrol the region, the addition of 7 international navies would create a wall of steel that Iran would find impossible to penetrate. But the diplomatic fallout of demanding such cooperation is a gamble that could define the Trump presidency's legacy in the Middle East. From the deck of Air Force One to the corridors of power in Tokyo and Seoul, the pressure is on, and the clock is ticking for the global community to decide if they are willing to pay the price for their own energy security, or if they will let the Strait of Hormuz remain a playground for Iranian shadow warfare. We are entering a new phase of maximum pressure, where the military might of the United States is being leveraged to force a global collective to finally take a stand, and the result will either be a more stable world or a catastrophic collision of naval powers that no one is truly prepared for.